problem that I have, I think the police did what they were supposed to do. They came in, they came through the door, they arrested him. He's bonded out since. The problem that I have is that there's this thing that we're dealing with right now that's called mental issue.
There's this rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul. If you guys haven't seen Gervonta Davis and another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen.
You know, it already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. So now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh, no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yes, the history was already there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit.
Yes.
She probably saw that he signed the Jake Paul fight.
Shannon Sharpe didn't hold back after Gervonta Davis's arrest. He said the victim needs real care and counseling, warning that calling it only a mental health issue ignores the pain caused to others. Shannon demanded true accountability, saying Tank's actions have seriously damaged his career and reputation.
Protector is the abuser. You lose a sense of protection of what you think a protector should do, because you're supposed to protect me from this. If someone is trying to do this to me, you're supposed to jump in and be my superhero. You're not supposed to commit this.
Jake Paul reacted strongly on X after hearing about Davis's legal trouble. He expressed frustration, calling Davis unprofessional and irresponsible. Jake wrote that working with him was a nightmare due to constant arrests, lawsuits, and odd behavior. His post went viral, sparking debates. With Davis's fight in doubt, Jake's team explored replacements like former UFC champion Francis Ngannou, but Ngannou quickly declined, saying he focuses on top-level boxing, not entertainment bouts.
We had to go right to the source. What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the way different and everything, it makes no sense. You know, the Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different can level up, but at this point, for me to...
Francis Ngannou addressed the rumors linking him to Jake Paul. He said he would never join a fight meant only for publicity, explaining that facing a YouTuber would disrespect his skill and reputation. Ngannou emphasized that fighters should honor their craft, not turn boxing into a spectacle. Fans agreed, noting that a matchup with Jake made little competitive or financial sense.
And you say, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting, and I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like, even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested.
The fight made no sense. That's what I think. That's my my position. And though I went back, I saw...
With Davis out, Jake now faces the challenge of finding a high-profile replacement. Ryan Garcia was mentioned, but contractual and broadcasting conflicts make the fight impossible. Garcia's team also has no interest in a Netflix event. Jake's camp continues searching for a famous fighter to keep fans engaged, but options are limited.
If that is the route they're going, then it kind of dissuades what I thought may happen, which was this rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul. If you guys haven't seen Gervonta Davis and another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know. And the rumor was one of the replacements was talked about and even offered to Ryan Garcia? Well, here is Ryan Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, speaking on that rumor and what's next for Ryan.
It's happy Saturday, so I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia is probably going to go on a rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me, who he's fighting, and when he's fighting next. See you guys.
It always seems like when Oscar decides to address something with Ryan Garcia, that he's not only addressing us, the people, that he's addressing Ryan Garcia. He's like, through us, telling Ryan, no, you're not fighting Jake Paul, no matter how much you want to fight. That's what it seems like, is like, no matter how much you want to fight Jake Paul, you're not fighting him. I don't even think that was meant for us. I think that was him telling Ryan. And you even hear it there. He's like, oh, Ryan's going to say, I'm keeping him from making money or whatever. But in this case, Oscar is right. If Ryan is signed to Golden Boy and Golden Boy is exclusively signed to DAZN for, fight rights, then Ryan has to fight on DAZN. I think that's pretty reasonable for Oscar. I didn't know that Golden Boy was exclusive to DAZN. I didn't know that was a thing. But if that is...
On the Ariel Helwani show, analysts said Davis's new lawsuit has severely hurt his image and career. The latest case came just 2 months after another legal issue, showing ongoing troubles. They noted Netflix might avoid hosting the fight, not wanting association with a fighter facing repeated lawsuits. Jake must find a replacement quickly to keep the event viable.
Aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Lawsuit comes 2 months after Davis's previous domestic violence case was dropped by a different ex-girlfriend and the mother of 2 of the boxer's 3 children. I just think MVP is in the business of being the home of women, right? At this point, like, that's a huge part of their identity. What is their identity? It's Jake Paul and women's boxing. That's their identity right now. And they've done a phenomenal job for the women. And so how, with these allegations lingering and now coming to light 2 weeks before, how can you go through with it? And it sounds like they feel the same way. It's an impossible spot to be in.
The only part I'd say is, like, you kind of know who this guy is ahead of time. Like, this is not exactly a shocking revelation. Like, Tank Davis is, this is not the first rodeo. But I do think it's too close to the fight to really be, messing around here. Like, you got to figure out a new solution.
And so there's been multiple reports regarding people that they've reached out to. Names like Ryan Garcia have been brought up. Terrence Crawford has been brought up. Francis Ngannou has been brought up. And Francis Ngannou spoke to TMZ today, and he did confirm that he was contacted. And the quote was, how can they go from Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? It makes no sense. He was like, quote, we think about you to fight Jake. I'm like, what? Which Jake? Bro, come on, don't disrespect me like that.
What the fuck is that?
That might have been the most timely, what the F is that of all time. What do you guys think about that stance from Francis? Because actually, there's a part of me that thinks, take the fight, you knock him out, you'll be like 65 pounds bigger than him, and it's a nice little feather in your cap.
I think that was a great backup solution. I think Francis versus Jake is a great fight.
If it goes all
Compelling,
according to
too.
plan, like he should theoretically get paid a bunch of money, knock out Jake Paul, and make off like a bandit. There is always the world where it goes awry. If he were to drop the fight to Jake Paul, that would
Right,
be
but I mean,
close.
you can literally say that about any fight. Are you just saying that the risk is greater than the reward?
I don't think so.
In my eyes, losing to Jake Paul.
Chael Sonnen weighed in, questioning the strong reaction from Jake and the media. He noted Davis hasn't been proven guilty and shouldn't be treated as if he is. Sonnen argued that canceling the fight might be an overreaction and reminded fans that boxing has always had fighters with personal controversies. Some viewers agreed, while others supported Netflix and Jake protecting their image.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like 8 pounds.
Rolando Romero quickly offered to replace Davis, posting that he could fight Jake within a week. Romero confidently claimed he would knock Jake out, sparking debates about fairness. His bold challenge went viral, showing his eagerness to stay active and keeping fans interested in Jake's next opponent.
I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Relive Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. But Jake Paul gets knocked.
Analysts criticized Jake Paul for being hypocritical. They reminded fans that Davis's lawsuit is civil, not criminal, meaning he isn't guilty by default. Some also pointed out that Jake has faced similar accusations before. Critics argued canceling the fight seemed more about public image than morals, raising questions about Jake's true motives.
If I thought he did it twice and we forgave him for that and you got better, you seek help and etc., I can, I forgive him for it.
Bruh.
How you know Jake Paul didn't know that?
Jake Paul knew.
Jake Paul 100% knew that.
September 19th, 2017, arrest warrant, first-degree assault. September 14th, 2018, arrested in Washington, D.C. February 1st, 2020, Davis arrested on domestic assault. March 22nd, 2021, indicted on 14 counts allegedly causing a serious crash. December 27th, 2022, days before a fight, arrested and jailed in Florida, domestic battery. July 11th, 25, taken into custody following a battery charge. October 31st, 25, Davis was involved in a civil fight with his girlfriend. Shut up, Jake Paul. Yeah. You knew what you was doing.
He does not get this excuse whatsoever. Also, whenever you look at what Jake Paul has done since coming into the sport of boxing, he has been a champion for women in the sport. He has also been a champion of equal fighter pay and whatnot, right? All of these different things that he's done. He's gone to Dana White directly for trying to abolish the Muhammad Ali Act that helps out fighters get. He's gone to so many different people. He's an extremely knowledgeable person whenever it comes to the sport that he's hyper obsessed with and turned his career from a Disney star and a YouTuber into a boxer. He knew about these issues already. Correct. He knew that this was a farcical fight in the first place. Yeah. This is a 7-weight class difference in real boxing. No, absolutely not. It should not have been a fight that was happening in the first place. But even then, after all of these things going on right now, Jake Paul to sit there and act as if you are all high and mighty. Correct. And that I don't want to give this dude a platform to earn money.
you were more than happy doing.
Paulie Malignaggi also criticized Jake, saying everyone knew about Davis's controversies. He pointed out that Jake signed the contract fully aware of Tank's past behavior. According to Paulie, backing out now is a way to save face rather than taking a moral stand. He believes Jake's decision was about protecting his image, not defending values.
I don't know. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. He had already had this history. He's trying to be better. And this is something that had already happened in the past, right? I mean, this was already known when they signed.
Yeah,
this
he
fight.
wasn't arrested.
He did this prior to this being signed. So you already knew this happened. It was regurgitated as a civil suit, but it was already something that everybody knew had happened in the past. So it's not like something new happened after he signed the fight. So that's what I don't understand, and that's why I don't want to see that. You know, I don't want to see that the kids still lose out on it that way for that reason. Because I don't know, to me it doesn't add up. You know, it already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. So now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yeah, the history was already there.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit.
Yes.
She probably saw that he